Here we go.
Hey, dog.
Here we go. Let the Goku fucking stream commence.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you. Everybody's fucking telling me go on fucking live. Fucking Tony wants to talk to you. Go on fucking live. So here the fuck we are. Tony, where the fuck are you at, bro? I posted that shit on my John. Everybody's saying they want me to go live and talk to you.
Funny thing is, I was just live.
I know. I was too. Everybody was telling me to get up on a panel, like type shit, so people can get up and talk to me. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But I shared out the channel and letting them know that we were doing my show on your show tonight. So
Mm,
even if it's just a segment, hopefully, you know how it is. It's slow for the first hour.
yeah.
Then motherfuckers funnel in. So how's your day been? It's thank you for hosting my show over here for tonight.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know
Um,
how long. Go ahead.
I've been out running errands, smoking some weed. What else?
I'm about to smoke a fog right now.
Word.
Wait for everybody to funnel in, funnel in. Am I coming through good? Can you hear me
Mm-hmm.
fine?
Yeah.
Alright, it doesn't sound like muffled or anything.
Nah.
Alright, cool, cool, cool.
Yo, you need to try these Snapple Elements, bro.
That's what everybody's been saying.
They're bomb. I like the
That's what
rain one.
everybody's been saying, bro. You said the rain one?
Mm-hmm.
The rain one's hitting. Where,
I don't really like the fire one. I'm about to try the air one.
where, excuse me, excuse me. I mean, hopefully, it's kind of late, you know. Hopefully, people funnel in. It's almost 12 a.m.
Ooh. think
What you
The
got?
air one's pretty nice.
Oh, I thought you had somebody coming up or somebody in chat.
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, there's Crispy.
What's up, Crispy?
Oh wait, now y'all can hear me. Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
I was gonna say I'm here to hear what people have to say whenever they come.
I know. You seen the stuff on the PlayStation, right? How Tony Pizza wants to talk to me, I guess, or they're saying
Yeah,
that I
there was
should.
like there was two people.
Well, I'm here.
Let
I
me
made
see if he's live.
I made it happen. It's late though. It's 11:31 at night. I don't think anybody's gonna be awake. If they are, they're trolls with no life.
Yeah, that's true.
But I did put it on my fucking my community page. So if people show up, people show up. If they don't, they don't. Fuck it.
Right.
Because you know Nips don't got that kind of like following that
Yeah.
me and you do right now. So and he don't want us to push his shit for some dumb reason.
Honestly, I don't care. I'm just not looking for the fame. You know what I mean?
Oh, neither am
Like,
I, bro. It kind of just fell in my lap. What are you?
I ain't looking for it if it ain't looking for me. But I ain't here for the whole fucking debate squad, bro. It's strictly
I
gaming and music.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. You don't want to get mixed up in the shit I'm mixed up in.
Good vibes all the way, bro.
I feel you, bro. Well, I appreciate you letting me use your platform to host tonight, bro. Much love.
Yeah.
I gotta fucking upgrade my stream yards. But listen, I'm fucking here, so we'll fucking chill out for a little while and see if anybody comes in. If they don't.
Yeah. Nips, put something on the screen for us to watch and talk about.
Yeah.
Like if
Till
you
we
want to
get
do a creepy pasta or whatever, anything.
you just have to screen share. Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Alright.
Add item, camera, media, slot. What is this? Move forward.
Oh, what a world. What a world we live in. What a world.
You said a creepy pasta.
Creepypasta or whatever, dude. It could be freaking gameplay of people sucking up slime. Just put on fucking something.
My sister would stop trying to rub her ass on my chair.
Whoa.
No, she getting her shit off my bed, so she has to squeeze between me and the chair. You know what I mean?
Right.
Jail
You got
time.
Jail
no,
time.
jail time. Oh, that's funny. Oh, where's everybody at, dude? This is crazy.
Custom layout, save, whatever. I don't fucking care. What am I doing now?
You're gonna
This
pull up something for us to watch, like laughs or something, like epic fails or some shit, so we can
sure.
fucking get the chat
Sharing
rolling.
blase. Don't show that.
And Muggsy, I never got my fucking answer, buddy. What the fuck are you talking about? I'd like a fucking answer, please. You fucking weirdo.
All right.
What you got for? Oh, you use Firefox? Sheesh.
Fuck yeah, it's quick.
That shit was quick. You should put on something. You know what you should put on, bro? You should put on something about not we who we cover in Pizzaverse already. We covered John Dillinger. We covered Billy the Kid. You know who you should put on? Like an old timey bank robber, like a cowboy bank robber, like a documentary or some shit. Or you know what you could look up? You could look up Joseph. You could, matter of fact, look up Joseph Mengele and the sick Nazi experiments he did, dude. He did some sick shit. Joseph Mengele did.
Who?
Joseph Mengele, the bringer of death or the devil of the Nazis or whatever. He was fucked up in the head, man. He did experiments on kids and like would take conjoined twins and like put them together and shit, like fucked up shit, bro.
Y'all hear this?
Nah, we don't have no sound, bro.
How the fuck do you do the sound?
Crispy would have to tell you.
Is your YouTube video muted?
No,
What about the volume on your computer?
no, I hear everything.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have that issue.
God love Windows.
I know, right? I think that's what she's using.
She's using Mac.
Oh shit! Return of the Mac. About to get some more water and lock in for this live stream. I don't know how long we're gonna be live, but we're here. Fucking tweaking with shit.
Yeah, not used to this shit.
I know, man. I know. There should be like, does it say screen sharing? Like an option for screen sharing?
Stop screen sharing. Let's see. We can come up here.
Check the audio.
Screen sharing temporarily allowed. Open that. Oh, that just fucking closed it.
Listen, bro, we're working with it. We're working with it. Sometimes you gotta do this type of shit. It fucking happens.
I was gonna say too, like you gotta think these people are a lot older than us.
They really are, dude. We're like so
like
young compared to these people. We're the youngsters on the block. Oh, we got screen share back. Still can't hear it, bro. Still can't hear that shit.
Fucking Muggsy.
Fucking Muggsy. Is he in the fucking chat?
No, I said Mumsy. It's for much. I ain't fucking. Nah, fuck out of here. I ain't chat with you, dicks.
For real.
Present screen sharing. Stop screen sharing. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Here, let's try mine.
Yours will work because it's your computer and your setup. But if
You got
Firefox
it.
don't like me lately,
I should. Hold on.
but oh shit!
What
I
just
just
happened?
broke my fucking chair.
Oh shit. Damn, did you just put that bitch together?
No, I just tightened the screws and now the back plate's all fucked out of whack.
What did you
now.
want me to look up?
Joseph Mangala documentary or something about Joseph Mangala. Because we already covered Billy the Kid. Bambi's covered a lot of people, so I'm not trying to cover the same people she covered. Just to get something going until fucking people come in. If they do, like I said, it's late. People might not show up.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sharing my screen, Nips. You gotta accept it.
There it is.
Thanks. Can you all hear
The
it?
man known
Yeah.
to history
All right.
as Josef Mengele was born on the 16th of March 1911
All
in
right,
the
everybody,
town of
get your
Günzburg
paper out and
in
pencils and
southern
take
Germany.
notes. There'll be
His
a test
father
at the
was
end of the
Karl
video.
Mengele, an engineer who around about the time of Josef's birth had become the proprietor of a foundry which manufactured farming
All right, watch
equipment
this.
for
I'm about to
various
go smoke a
purposes
blunt
such
right
as
quick.
sawing, cutting, and milling.
I feel that.
There
I'm
were
gonna smoke a
7
joint
men
soon.
on the payroll of the company in the early 1910s, which meant that the Mengeles were one of the more affluent families in the Günzburg area.
Yeah, this dude,
Josef's
man, was
mother
a
was
sick
Walburga
motherfucker, dude.
Hupfauer, who would subsequently give birth to Josef's 2 younger
I've
brothers,
never heard of him
Karl
until
Jr.
now.
and
Really?
Alois. The young Josef grew up in a world which was in the depths of total war. It was only in the recent past that Germany had become a country at all. As recently as the 1860s, its territory was divided between over 24 smaller states. However, in 1871,
Wow, I didn't know that.
these united under Prussian leadership to form the German Empire. This severely disrupted the balance of power in Europe, and in the decades that followed, the continent drifted towards war. Germany formed an alliance with the Austro-Hungarian Empire, while Britain, France, and Russia allied to offset the rise of Germany. At first, these powers confined their disputes to proxy conflicts in Africa and the Balkans. But in the summer of 1914, a regional dispute in the Balkans led to the outbreak of a general European war. It soon expanded to bring in countries such as Japan.
You
And
know
so
Hitler was
the
in World War
First
One?
World War had commenced. It lasted
Really?
for over 4
Yeah,
years,
Hitler was in World
with
War One,
Germany,
yeah.
Austria-Hungary, and the
He
Ottoman
almost died in
Empire
World War One.
fighting Britain, France,
I didn't
Russia,
know
and
that.
Italy,
Mhm.
with the United States later joining
If he
on
would have
their
died in World
side.
War One, there
The
would have
defeat
been
of
no
Germany brought
Holocaust.
the empire to an end, and a new German republic was created, named after the town of Weimar. More importantly, a series of punitive peace terms were imposed on Germany under the terms of the Treaty of Versailles, and these would have lasting repercussions. The infant Mengele might not have been entirely unaware of these developments, as they had impacted substantially on the Mengele household. Karl left to fight in the German army shortly after the conflict began, and Walburga was left to raise the children and attempt to keep the business ticking over during the war. She did this with a steely determination and successfully negotiated a contract with the German government to produce a type of army vehicle for use on the war front, known as the Fouragewagen. As a result, the company prospered, and when Karl Mengele returned to Günzburg at the end of the war, he was able to keep the company moving forward. By the early 1920s, it had become the third largest producer of threshing machinery in the whole of Germany.
Oh, wow.
Extended family members were called upon to aid in the building up of the organization, and as a result, the Mengele name is very common in the Günzburg area to this day, and Karl Mengele Straße is one of the main streets in the town. A curious contrast between the civic significance of the wider Mengele family and the appalling crimes which Karl and Walburga Mengele's eldest son would commit. More immediately, what this prosperity meant for Josef in the 1920s was that he had the financial backing to engage in extensive studies. Mengele was a relatively successful student in his teenage years. He excelled at art and developed wide interests in music and in physical activity. He appears to have favored skiing, the town being not too far from the northern end of the German Alps. In April of 1930, Josef Mengele passed his high school exams with a decent but hardly exceptional grade. Initially, he seems to have considered becoming a dentist, having noted that there was not one dentist in the local area and that this would be a promising trade to practice. However, he subsequently decided that this was too specialized and opted for medicine, with an emphasis on anthropology and genetics. He was clearly ambitious, and his correspondence
He was a
from
very
this
smart
time
kid.
indicates an individual who wanted to impress his family by becoming its first medical scientist. And so it was that in October 1930, he left the family home and headed east to the city of Munich, the capital of Bavaria. Here, he enrolled in both the medicine and philosophy departments, indicating an interest in both the hard science element of medicine and broader speculation and inquiry. It was a mix of interests which would later have terrifying results. Mengele
Very
arrived in
terrifying.
Bavaria just as a new political party was emerging in the area and was beginning its ascent to power. The National Socialist German Workers' Party, or Nazi Party, had been founded a decade earlier and had quickly come under the control of an Austrian firebrand called Adolf Hitler. In November 1923, this collection of disaffected war veterans, whose main concern was to prevent the rise of leftist parties, such as the Communists, and to redress the overly punitive terms of the Treaty of Versailles, which had brought the First World War to an end, had attempted a coup in Munich, but it was quickly suppressed. Thereafter, they turned to constitutional politics to achieve their ends, but initially floundered at the polls until the autumn of 1929, when, after a decade of rampant growth, the Wall Street Stock Exchange suffered catastrophic losses, and the world's economy went into a tailspin. As individuals lost their jobs and life savings throughout Germany, parties such as the Nazis and the Communists began to experience a surge of support in elections. As the Great Depression, which followed the Wall Street crash, dragged on through the early 1930s, Hitler and his associates would become ever more popular with their message of xenophobia and resentment at Germany's position in the world. Mengele was soon involved in the political torrents which were raging around him, although he would not become a member of the Nazi Party itself for some time yet. In March 1931, he joined the Stahlhelms, an ex-servicemen's organization which was named after the helmets worn by the German army during the First World War. The Stahlhelms marched regularly and held military-style rallies.
You're falling asleep off it because no one's in here chatting with us.
Really?
No, Nips.
Oh.
He commented and said, "Why am I falling asleep off this?" LMAO. Well, because people told Goku that Tony Pizza wanted to talk to him, and now Tony Pizza ain't here. So that's just the way it is, I guess.
But
I
the
mean, we don't-
Nazis also
we
had
don't
an
have to
early
do
appeal to the
this.
young Joseph. In his
What do you want to do? What do you want to watch?
I'm talking about Nips. I'm talking about what does he want to do?
Oh. Yeah, what do you want to do?
Since you got anything better in mind?
We can look at creepypastas.
Sure.
Every single original creepypasta. Ooh, what about the best creepypastas? That's long though.
Right.
Avoid the radio station AM 630. All right, let's watch that one. I ain't never heard of this one before.
Single validated solution for your hybrid workforce.
Which one is it?
With Intel vPro.
Hold on, I'll tell you in a second.
Alright.
Discoloration fixed. Dark circle.
It is avoid the radio station AM 630.
Oh, interesting. I've never heard this one either before.
Is the volume alright?
I'm writing this as somewhat
Yeah.
of a warning,
All right.
but also a slight cry for help. I do not know who else to turn to that may take me
That's that
seriously.
bad word we're not supposed to
And I
say.
know this community is often eager to help
Yeah.
in situations like this. A few months ago in late July, I attended a music festival with my girlfriend, Debbie. This
Debbie.
particular festival was in a small Wisconsin town called Twin
God
Lakes.
damn it, Debbie.
It went
God
on
damn
from
it, Debbie.
Thursday until past midnight on Sunday. So by the time we left the last show,
Nips was falling
we
asleep off the
trudged through the
educational
mud,
documentary.
packed up the last of our belongings from the
For real,
campsite,
dog.
and drove past
Yo, I was
the
taking
stampede
notes.
of fellow festival
Oh my
goers.
god.
It was
I told
pretty
y'all
late.
there was a test.
Her and I have attended this festival for the past 4 years.
Dude, I've
It's
always
pretty much
guessed on
common
tests.
knowledge amongst the community that
I either
cell phone
pass or I
service
don't, you
is
know, if I
completely
know it
gone
or
after
I
the
don't.
first day.
I was gonna say,
I
dog, you
think it's a
passed like every test
combination
you've
of
ever
being
had.
in a small
You're in
town
college.
and
What are you
randomly
talking
filling a small area with thousands of
Yeah,
people.
you're right.
And that
You're, like,
causes
perfect.
the service to dissipate so
That's
quick.
not true.
Because we were aware of this, we fully expected
I got a
to
lot of
not
sadness
have
in me,
use of our
Chief.
phone's
I
GPS
know, but
system to help us navigate the
you're
town.
doing
This
way
didn't
better
worry us
than
though,
I was at your
because
age,
like I
so
said, this
I'm
was our 4th year, and I'd pretty
fucking
much learned
proud
the
of you,
route
kid.
back home by
I'm
now.
trolling.
Unfortunately,
Trolling.
the usual route we were prepared to take was completely blocked off. We saw flashing red and blue lights
I
in the
know. We
distance,
used to flip
and
through the
later
AMs to
learned
try
that
to
one of
find
the
anything.
festival goers
Remember
had
when
been
we looked
struck
into
by
them
a
number
vehicle.
stations, Nips?
After waiting for
And we
20
were like
minutes
up
and
all
not
night
moving
trying
an
to find a
inch,
number station,
Debbie
and we
and I
finally
agreed
found
we
one.
should try
Remember?
to find another way back. We pulled a U-turn and began to drive in the opposite direction. After a few minutes, we saw a side street and decided we'd check it out. This road, well, it was dark. Really dark. The kind of dark where you drive slow and blare your high beams, which is what I did. Being into horror films, I took the opportunity to make a comment on our creepy surroundings to Debbie. She kind of laughed, but
Yeah, that shit was
I did
fun.
notice the fear in her voice and eyes. Being the loving guy that I am, I decided I would take advantage of her fear and scare her even more. Boyfriend of the year, am I, right? I switched from the aux settings in the car to the radio and immediately switched to AM. I scanned one by one until I found one that was just blaring white noise. I left it on and began making comments to Debbie in different horror-inspired voices. Things like, "They're watching us," and "Tonight seems like a nice night to die."
See, you're
Don't you
fucking
think?
provoking shit. You
The
fucking
crazy thing
idiot.
was, Debbie didn't find my hilarious jokes very entertaining and kept trying to shut the radio off.
I would have too.
Such a buzzkill. I agreed to cut the act, and I told her it can all end
real
if she played
shit.
along just a little bit,
Shit.
choosing one random AM station for us to listen to.
Welcome back.
With an annoying sigh, Debbie
I'm
reached
really
over and
high.
spun the dial with little thought.
Word.
The
Nice.
station she landed on
Was
was
Joseph
AM
Magnola not
630.
doing your fancy?
She hit the spooky
No,
jackpot with
not
that
really.
one.
I was over
What
out.
we heard could
I
only be
was out there
described as a
fucking
little girl
yawning,
singing in
listening
a
to that shit.
high-pitched, distorted voice. I immediately began laughing at her selection, since it was exactly what I was hoping we'd find, and so much more. I whipped out my phone and recorded a Snapchat video of our reactions. I continued to laugh while Debbie nervously chuckled. I actually found it strange and a bit unnerving myself, but did not want to let it show in front of her. You know, macho guy routine and all of that. I went ahead and
Right.
switched back to the aux and continued our drive home. After a few minutes of switching back, the music got cut off once again, and my high-pitched ringtone flooded the car with an ear-piercing jingle. The number was strange and told me it was from Russia, so I ignored it. I'd recently purchased a URL from GoDaddy
I'm gonna
and
stay
made the
until
foolish
12 and then I'm
decision
gonna
to not
probably
make
get
it
off. I'm
private,
tired.
so my mobile
Yeah.
number was made
Word.
public for all the spammers to find. That meant receiving calls from randomly generated numbers became a common occurrence, which is why this one did not faze me too much. It did a little, though. Most of the spam numbers I received were
I'll
domestic
probably listen to
and were
fucking
received during
creepypastas
the
till I go to
weekday
sleep.
afternoons. I had never received one at almost 1 a.m. on a Sunday night, let alone
I'm
one
just
from
listening to
Russia.
them all the time.
Not too long after rejecting that call, I received another. Again, it was an international number, this time from Morocco. I figured it was the same person as before, using the same random number generator, and once again ignored the number. A few minutes passed when, you guessed it, another call. This one, though, was in fact domestic. The call was coming from Phoenix, Arizona, and since this was from inside the US, and I was finally angry enough to answer and chew out the solicitor on the other end, I picked up. And I wish I hadn't. I angrily asked, "Hello?" several times and did not receive an answer. Usually that would be my cue to hang up, but I was annoyed and felt persistent. Not to mention, Debbie was watching, and macho guy routine. I knew someone was there because I was able to hear some background static and the faint sound of someone breathing. Hey,
Fuck
asshole,
you.
I know you're there. So what the hell do you want? And what can you possibly be trying to sell at this hour? The silence lingered for a few more seconds before it was broken. I began to hear music, but not just any music. It was the same style music we heard on the creepy radio station we had turned off just before receiving the calls. I felt my face get flushed and sort of just frozen up, phone still on my ear. I don't know how long I sat there like that before I was snapped out of it. I hadn't realized what snapped me out of it until Debbie broke the silence in the car. What does he want? I looked into the rearview mirror and saw what Debbie was referring to. There was a pickup truck tailgating behind us that had flashed its lights. The driver did it again, just one quick burst of their high beams in our direction. I had no idea what they could have wanted. I was going 5 to 10 miles over, so it wasn't because I was impeding traffic. It was a 2-lane road with no oncoming traffic, so even if they were in a hurry, they could easily have gone around us and sped up. At this point, I was still on the phone, and still had not heard anything but the music coming from the other end. And for whatever reason, I did not hang up and was too distracted by the tailgater to try and pry info from the caller. After about 30 seconds of being dangerously close to our car, the truck finally began to switch lanes in an attempt to pass us. It was dark, so I could not see into the driver's car through the windshield, and when they were beside us, we realized their windows were tinted very dark, definitely past the legal limit. In that moment, it did not mean much to me, since I figured they would speed past us and be out of our hair soon. But that didn't happen. The truck got in front of us and slowly began to apply their brakes. Red flags everywhere. I'd read enough stories of criminal encounters to know that this easily could be a trap to rob us, or worse. I knew I had to be tactical to avoid any problems. Debbie, on the other hand, wasn't thinking so clearly. Feeling tired and anxious to be home, and now annoyed to her breaking point by this driver, she swiftly reached out her arm and pressed down firmly on my car horn. It wasn't the first time she had pulled this move, and it's something she does that I absolutely hate. I always tell her she's going to get us into some serious confrontation one day. A serious confrontation that will have to be handled by me. So I'm usually quick to grab her hand and remove it from the horn. This time, though, I was frozen. I was still on the phone with the mystery caller at this point, subconsciously transfixed on the chilling audio that was radiating into my ear. From the phone, I heard it. My car horn. It was delayed by a nanosecond and sounded far away, but I knew it was the same. I heard my car horn coming from the other end of the call. Whoever was in that truck was the person I was speaking to. the person who called us with the suspicious numbers, the person who was playing the same radio station we had randomly discovered, and now the same person who almost got us to come to a complete stop in the middle of a Wisconsin back road at 1 in the morning.
Odd.
Fight or flight is a funny thing. It's very impressive how fast your mind can actually process information when it's fueled by fear. In what felt like a blink of an eye, my mind ran with the possibility of reaching for the baseball bat I kept in the back seat and coming at this driver with all my might. That fantasy quickly went south as I pictured a group of grown men with guns spilling out of the truck, killing me and doing God knows what to Debbie. I thank God to this day that the stupid macho guy routine came to an end right then and there. I quickly and haphazardly slammed down on the gas and swerved around the truck, picking up as much speed as I could. I might not have been the fastest car in the world, but it's in pretty good condition. It was more than enough to escape the old, worn-out pickup truck that was following us. After about 10 minutes of speeding well past the legal limit, blowing stop signs, and living out all my Vin Diesel fantasies, we were back in the more sprawling, busy areas of our route. There was no sign of the truck. Debbie, who was screaming at me for the first minutes of this escape, was reduced to quietly crying as she clutched a pillow tight to her chest. My adrenaline had worn off, and now I was feeling shaky. We had been riding in dead silence this whole time, so I reached down to the floor of the car for my phone. I figured if we could both benefit in some cheery music to help lighten the mood, since we
This
both
dude
clearly
sounds so
were not eager
awkward.
to discuss what had just happened.
He really does.
I grabbed the phone and
He
tapped
sounds like
the
he's got
home
good
button.
intentions, though.
The screen illuminated, and I saw that I was still
Yeah,
in the
for
middle
now.
of a call. I never hung up the phone before speeding away, and apparently neither did the mysterious caller on the other end. We approached a red light and I slowed down to a stop. That's when I put the phone up to my ear. My breathing was undoubtedly audible at this point. At first, I was met with silence, other than the same muted white noise as before. The silence was broken by the caller. In a deep voice, I heard one sentence that filled my body with nauseating chills. Almost had you. After that, the call was ended. I must have looked shaken because Debbie nervously asked me what was wrong. I simply shook my head without a word and continued driving. And about 30 minutes later, we arrived home. At that point, we were so exhausted that we walked inside, decided to leave unpacking the car for the next day, and dropped into bed without even bothering with showers. Now, that next morning, I grabbed the keys and went to go bring the car closer to our apartment entrance in order to speed up the process of emptying all our camping gear. I got to the car when I hit the unlock button on the keys, and I did not hear the sound of the doors unlocking. Instead, I heard the dull thud of the locks remaining the same. In our tired gaze, the prior night, we had neglected to lock the doors. I peeked inside the car and saw that everything still seemed to be there, including some cash that was visibly strewn across the passenger seat. I figured we had gotten lucky and proceeded to get inside. But right away, I knew something was wrong. You see, it was the smell. Whether you know it or not, every single person has a scent. You could smell it when you walk into certain homes, or smelling someone's worn clothing. And in that moment, I was picking up a scent that did not belong to Debbie or I. It wasn't bad per se, but it was undeniable, slightly musty, with a hint of menthol. I got out of the car and inspected
Sounds like a
it
good
once
night
more.
of sex.
And again,
What the
nothing
fuck,
seemed out of
Nips?
place. I took a breath and told myself
I'm
I
getting
was
off
just
here at this
imagining
creepy
things.
pasta, dog. We're going to have to do
And
this
once
tomorrow.
again, I climbed into the driver's seat.
Wait, I want
This
to tell
time-
you that I'm making a meme, and I think you're gonna like it. Goku.
Okay.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Good night. But dog, let's do this tomorrow when people are gonna actually be watching.
Yeah.
Let's
fucking
not waste
life,
it.
dog.
Let's not waste the fucking hours you got. You know what I mean?
Let's not waste the 38 minutes we wasted.
I know, right? But alright, bro.
That'd be easy.
What a fucking shit show. Anyway, this is Goku coming from Gokuverse. Hashtag Nipsey Hustle. Hustle and motivate. We the fuck out of here.
Yo.